Dragon of Icespire Peak. Axeholm. Axeholm is balanced for characters of 5th level, though characters of 3rd or 4th level can survive its perils if they are cautious and rest between encounters. Location overview. Axeholm is a dwarven fortress carved into the base of a mountain 15 miles south of Castellan. The site was abandoned and sealed up long ago after being haunted by a Banshee, the restless spirit of a moon elf ambassador named Vildarar, who tried and failed to foment civil unrest among the dwarves. The dwarves imprisoned the elf and sent messages to her people asking that they come to collect her. Before envoys could be sent, Vildarar killed 2 guards trying to escape, only to be cut down by dwarven axes before she could succeed. When the elf's evil spirits started filling Axeholm's halls with deadly wails, the dwarves abandoned their stronghold, but not before several dwarves slain by the Banshee arose as ghouls to feed on their kin. Ghouls and other creatures now prowl Axeholm, while the Banshee continues to haunt the fortress's upper halls. The Banshee senses the arrival of adventurers with its Detect Life trait. In its twisted spectral mind, they are invaders who must be destroyed for their trespass. Quest goals. To complete the Axeholm quest, adventurers must kill or drive out all the monsters in the fortress. Axeholm Features. In the dwarves' absence, Axeholm has become a dark, sullen tomb, full of dust and bad memories. It's quiet most of the time, except when the sorrowful wails of the Banshee fill the place. The following features are common throughout. Arrow slits. When using an arrow slit for protection, a creature gains 3/4 cover, as described in the rulebook, against outside threats. A medium character can't squeeze through an arrow slit, but a small character can with a successful DC 10 Dexterity Acrobatics check. Ballistas. For its defense, Axeholm relied heavily on ballistas, massive crossbows that fire heavy bolts. A crew of 3 dwarves operated each ballista. Before it can be fired, a ballista must be loaded and aimed. It takes 1 action to load the weapon, 1 action to aim it, and 1 action to fire it. A ballista's statistics are as follows: ranged weapon attack, +6 to hit, with a range of 120 feet to 480 feet, against 1 target. When it hits, it deals 16 or 3d10 piercing damage. Ceilings. Ceilings throughout are 15 feet high and flat unless the text says otherwise. Chimneys. Fireplaces throughout Axeholm have chimneys cut from seamless stone. Some of those chimneys can be used to gain access to the fortress. Doors. Regular doors are made of thick, sturdy oak, reinforced with iron bands and fitted with iron hinges and handles. Light. The walls are lined with torch sconces, but the torches burned down long ago. Adventurers require dark vision or their own light source to see inside. Stench. A foul stench lingers in Axeholm, becoming stronger as one gets closer to the resident ghouls. Travel to Axeholm. The day-long journey to Axeholm from Castellan takes the characters across grassy lowlands that skirt the rocky foothills of the Sword Mountains. The trek passes without incident, though cool winds and rain blowing in from the Sword Coast make the trip far from pleasant. Arrival. When the characters arrive at Axeholm, describe the following. Thrust out of the base of a dark grey mountain is the entrance to a dwarven fortress, a dark 15-foot wide passageway flanked by 40-foot high bulwarks of smooth, seamless stone. An iron portcullis covered with rust blocks the entrance. Arrow slits carved into the bulwarks are dark, revealing no hint of occupation. Entering the fortress is the character's first challenge. The portcullis in Area A1 is too heavy to lift, and its bars are too narrowly spaced for even a small character to squeeze through. However, a small character can squeeze through an arrow slit into Area A2 or Area A3. Then attempt to raise the portcullis using the winches there. The winches are rusty and require a successful DC 15 Strength Athletics check to turn. Each successful check allows the portcullis to be raised 5 feet. Characters who search for another entrance can attempt a DC 15 Wisdom Perception check. A successful check spots numerous stone chimneys protruding from the mountainside, but an earthquake after Axeholm was abandoned closed off most of those to anything but tiny creatures. Only the chimneys leading down to Area A21 and Area A23 can be accessed by the adventurers. Scaling the mountain requires a successful DC 10 Strength Athletics check, as there are plenty of handholds and footholds. Crawling down a chimney to Area A21 or Area A23 requires another successful DC 10 Strength Athletics check. If this check fails, the character falls 20 feet to the bottom of the chimney, landing in a sooty hearth and taking 2d6 bludgeoning damage. Characters who use climbing gear to scale the mountain and lower themselves down a chimney have advantage on their checks. Keyed locations. The following locations are keyed to the map of Axeholm. Area A1, Outer Gauntlet. Axeholm's primary entrance and exit is this defensible passage, which is blocked by a sturdy portcullis as previously described in Arrival. Arrow slits are spaced along the walls and murder holes line the ceiling, enabling fortress defenders to shoot ballistas at invaders or pour boiling oil on top of them. With the dwarves gone, the only remaining defences are the portcullis and the double doors to the south, which are barred shut. Characters hoping to get through the double doors must break them down, which takes a single character 1 hour. Multiple characters working together can reduce the time proportionally. The noise created by smashing down the doors is loud enough to alert all the dwarf ghouls in the fortress, which gather in Area A4 and attack once the door falls. The fortress contains 3 dwarf ghouls, plus 3 additional ghouls for each character in the party, not including sidekicks. If these ghouls are killed here, the characters encounter no more of them in the fortress. Area A2, the Western Bulwark. This area contains 7 ballistas pointed at arrow slits, a winch that raises and lowers the portcullis, and a stone staircase leading up to Area A22. Each ballista is equipped with 5 bolts. Area A3, the Eastern Bulwark. This area has the same features as Area A2. Area A4, Mustering Hall. This great hall has a 40-foot high ceiling supported by 4 thick stone pillars. A thick layer of dust covers the flagstone floor. In the middle of each wall past the entrance is a double door. Arrow slits are set high up in the north and south walls, and a small stone balcony protrudes from the wall above the east exit, 20 feet above the floor, as described in Area A22, Area A24, and Area A25. Area A5, the West Hall. The floor is strewn with bits of armour and the gnawed bones of dwarves who were killed and eaten by ghouls. Lurking in the hall is 1 ghoul for each member of the party, not including sidekicks. The ghouls pursue prey that flees. Area A6, the Armory. The dwarves took all the weapons and armour from this area when they left. All that remains are empty stone weapon racks, wooden mannequins upon which armour once hung, and iron hooks on the walls that once bore shields. Area A7, the main barracks. Dozens of meagre cots lie scattered about the floor. A pair of fireplaces stand cold and dark, their rubble-choked chimneys rising 120 feet through the mountain. Area A8, Privies. Tattered wool curtains conceal 3 neglected privies, each with a wooden bench set against the back wall. Area A9, Stirge in the Smithy. Standing before 2 blackened hearths are a pair of rusty anvils, which dwarves once used to fashion and repair their armour and weapons. A fluttering noise can be heard coming from the southernmost fireplace, indicating the presence of a Stirge near the bottom of the 200-foot-high chimney. If anyone shines a light up there, the Stirge panics, flies out and attacks the nearest character or sidekick. It ignores the characters otherwise. Area A10. Tool storage. Dwarven armorsmiths and weaponsmiths stored their tools here, which still hang from hooks along the walls. Though a bit rusty, the tools are in serviceable shape if the characters wish to use them. Area A11. The inner gauntlet. 4 arrow slits line the walls of this corridor, leading to Axeholm's throne room in Area A14. Area A12. The west guard post. 2 ballistas point towards arrow slits in the east wall. Each ballista is equipped with 5 bolts. The guard post is otherwise empty. Area A13. The east guard post. The gnawed bones, torn armor fragments and rusty battle axes of 2 dead dwarf guards lie in the middle of the room. The guards were trapped here by ghouls, killed and eaten. 2 ballistas aimed at arrow slits in the west wall come equipped with 5 bolts apiece. Area A14. The throne room. Read the following out loud. The stench of death hangs heavy in the air of this dusty pillared hall, which has a dark sooted stained fireplace at the east end. A deep alcove in the south wall contains a dais, atop which rests a limestone throne flanked by granite statues of dwarf warriors. Between the throne and the fireplace is a hallway with stairs leading up. Hiding behind the throne is a ghoul with 40 hit points. This undead creature is all that remains of Axeholm's dwarf Castellan, who stayed behind to seal up the fortress after most of the garrison fled. The ghoul is the source of the hall's foul stench, which gets stronger closer to the throne. The hidden ghoul can be detected with a successful DC 13 Wisdom Perception check. If any character inspects the throne, the ghoul lets out a shriek and attacks. Its shriek is heard by the ghouls in Area A26, which crawl down the chimney and clamber out of the fireplace. This group contains 2 soot-covered ghouls, plus 1 additional ghoul for each member of the party, not including sidekicks. After all other creatures in the hall have taken a first turn in combat, these ghouls join the battle, acting on the same initiative count as the former Castellan. Treasure. The ghoulish Castellan wears a gold signet ring that bears the Axeholm crest, a hand axe clutched in a dwarven gauntlet. The signet ring is worth 5 gold pieces, and unlocks the chest in Area A29. Area A15. Dining room. In the middle of this room, a carved stone dining table, 15 feet long and 5 feet wide, is flanked by a pair of equally long wooden benches. Above the table hangs 2 iron chandeliers, their candles long since melted away. North of the seating area is a sooty fireplace and an alcove containing a rough-hewn pit that descends 60 feet. Abundant handholds and footholds allow a character to climb up or down the pit with a successful DC 10 strength athletics check. The bottom of the pit contains mouldy animal bones and other refuse discarded by the dwarves after their meals. Area A16. Kitchen. The dusty room has all the trappings one expects to find in a dwarven kitchen, including metal dishware, utensils, and drinking mugs. A stone sink is equipped with a faucet, which, when turned, spouts hot water channeled from a naturally heated underground spring. Area A17. East Hall in ruins. The earthquake that hit Axeholm triggered a ceiling collapse that left this hall in ruins. The eastern half of the hall is strewn with debris and is difficult terrain as described in the rulebook. The stench of death hangs heavy here, becoming stronger as the characters move towards Area A19. Area A18. Empty room. This 15-foot square room was cleaned out by the dwarves before they evacuated Axeholm. Only dust remains. Area A19, Ghoul Den. Characters can reach this area by following the naturally formed tunnel from Area A17, or by descending the stone staircase from Area A24. The door to the north has been smashed open, and its remains are strewn on the floor. The stench of death and decay grows stronger as the characters approach this room, and they can hear the hisses and snarls of the ghouls that lair here. The room contains one ghoul plus one additional ghoul for each member of the party, not including sidekicks. After dealing with the ghouls, the characters can inspect the room more closely. Describe it to the players as follows. This chamber was once a shrine, as evidenced by the wall carvings that depict dwarves carrying censers and observing religious rites. However, the eastern section of the room has collapsed, filling the area with rubble. Gnawed bones scattered among the debris are the remains of a number of dwarves. Treasure. Characters who search through the rubble of the east portion of the room find two treasures. A platinum amulet on a thin but sturdy gold chain. This amulet is a holy symbol of Moradin, the dwarven god of creation, and bears his symbol, a hammer and an anvil. Any dwarf character recognizes the symbol immediately, while a non-dwarf recognizes it with a successful DC 10 intelligence religion check. An unlocked steel coffer, weighing 5 pounds. This small box is packed with silt, nestled in which is a potion of superior healing. Give the players the potion of superior healing card when they find this magic item, or they can reference it in the magic items listing. Area A20, the narrow tunnel. Ghouls dug this winding rubble-strewn tunnel connecting the upper and lower levels of Axeholm. The tunnel is 2 feet wide, 5 feet high, and 60 feet long. Area A21, East Upper Barracks. The ghouls trash this room, leaving behind wrecked cots, chairs, tables, and other furnishings. A blackened fireplace is set into the east wall, its chimney rising 20 feet to the outside. Characters can use this chimney to enter or exit the fortress as described in Arrival. Area A22, Upper Bastion. This large chamber extends over the outer gauntlet of the main entrance in Area A1 and contains many former defensive measures. Arrow slits in the north allow outside light to enter, filling the northern half of the room with sunlight or moonlight, depending on the time of day or night. Thick webs are strung between the walls and pillars. Lurking among them are several giant spiders. 3 spiders plus 1 additional spider for each character in the party, not including sidekicks. The spiders are spread throughout the southern half of the room and move to attack all interlopers. Other defences include 2 fireplaces, which were used to heat cauldrons full of oil that the dwarves poured through the narrow slits in the floor. 3 empty cauldrons are lined up along one of these slits. Arrow slits along the south wall open up into Area A4, and stone staircases descend to Area A2 and A3. Area A23, the West Upper Barracks. A fireplace is built into the west wall of this room. Hanging from a hook above its mantelpiece is a non-magical steel shield bearing the symbol of Axeholm, a dwarven gauntlet clutching a hand axe. Characters can use the fireplace's soot-stained chimney to enter or exit the fortress as described in Arrival. The room's other furnishings, cots, tables, chairs, and empty footlockers, are intact but covered in dust. Area A24, the Haunted Hall. The Banshee haunts the east-west stretch of this L-shaped hall. The creature floats in the middle of the hall, outside the door to Area A27. Describe it to the players as follows. The luminous, wispy form of a female elf floats in the dusty hallway before you. its face wreathed in a tangle of gossamer hair, its body clad in spectral rags that flutter about it. The apparition's face becomes a mask of rage as it screams, "Get out of my house!" If the characters flee the Banshee's presence of their own accord, it lets them go. If they advance towards the undead, attack it, or attempt to parley, it turns violent. In the first round of combat, the Banshee uses Horrifying Visage. On the second round, it uses Wail. After wailing, it withdraws to Area A27, passing through the closed door as though it weren't there. In Area A27, the undead makes its final stand. Area A25, Upper East Hall and Balcony. The earthquake caused this part of the empty hall to collapse. A double door in the west wall leads to a small stone balcony overlooking Area A4. Area A26, the Ghoul Bath. Several ghouls gather here, a total of 2 ghouls plus 1 additional ghoul for each member of the party, not including sidekicks. The ghouls enter and leave the room through a 2-foot diameter hole in the east wall, which breaks into the chimney of Area A14. In the middle of this room stands a carved stone tub filled with gnawed dwarven bones. The tub is equipped with a faucet which, when turned, spouts hot water channeled from a naturally heated underground spring. A stone plug seals the drain in the tub's bottom. Area A27, Banshee's Bedchamber. This bedroom was set aside for honoured guests, but its furnishings have decayed with age and are covered with dust and cobwebs. Vildara once stayed here, but the elf's possessions were taken during her captivity, leaving nothing of value. Area A28, Castellan's Bedchamber. A stone-framed bed with a mouldy mattress stands in the middle of this room, covered in dust and cobwebs. Set into the south wall is a soot-stained fireplace. Stirges nest in the rubble-choked chimney, a total of 1 per party member, including sidekicks. The Stirges attack anyone who pokes around the fireplace. Secret door. The back wall of the fireplace is a secret door. A character who searches the interior of the fireplace and succeeds on a DC 15 Wisdom Perception check notices a dwarven handprint in the soot on the back wall. Pushing on the secret door causes it to swing open on stone hinges, revealing Area A29 beyond. Area A29, Secret Vault. Against the south wall of this otherwise empty room rests an 80-pound iron chest with clawed feet. Its built-in lock bears a tiny circular indentation instead of a traditional keyhole. Close inspection of the indentation reveals a tiny symbol of a hand axe clutched in a gauntlet. This symbol matches the one on Castellan's signet ring, as found in Area A14, albeit reversed. If the Castellan signet ring is placed in the indentation, the chest unlocks and remains unlocked until its lid is closed tight. The chest can also be unlocked with a successful DC 20 dexterity check using Thieves' Tools, or by a knock spell or similar magic. Treasure. The chest contains a Dread Helm and a pair of Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Give the players the Dread Helm and Gauntlets of Ogre Power cards when they find and identify these 2 magic items, or they can reference them in the magic items listing. Area A30, Privies. Rusty chainmail curtains conceal a pair of privies, each with a wooden bench set against the back wall. The chutes for these privies descend deep into the mountain, passing just east of Area A10.